Hello students, welcome to etechtales. So in this class we will begin with unit 3, that is the basic concepts and techniques. Here in this chapter we will be talking on the different set of opportunities that we ascertain and that we get during any decision making process, and we will be getting to know more about variable constants, then with determinants, partial derivatives, and regression analysis. So, out of all these papers, the most important few are this one: derivatives, regression analysis, role of managerial economist, and specifying the estimates of regression equation. So all these portion they are quite important. If you know the opportunity cost, we have done in the previous class itself, where I have described about the opportunity cost. Here opportunity set is being described, which we will be understanding in the later half of the class. So let's go to the objectives here. Identify a wide range of techniques used in managerial economics. Apply these techniques to understand the meaning of the results and identify the strength and weaknesses of the different methods. So first we will explore various techniques such as cost benefit analysis, then demand forecasting and pricing strategies. We will be understanding these techniques with the help us which will help us to analyze and make better business decisions. Next, we will learn how to apply these techniques to real world scenarios. For example, we might use demand forecasting to predict future sales and adjust our production plans accordingly. And finally, we will discuss the strengths and weaknesses of each method. Some techniques they might be highly accurate but time consuming, while others might be quick but less precise. So by evaluating these aspects, we can choose the best opportunity or the best approach for different kind of situations. Okay. So let's start with the introduction. So as managers, we need various techniques to make a decision, to make us help in taking decisions that will maximize the value of our firms. So these techniques are quantitative and essential for effective managerial decision making. So today we will discuss some basic techniques that will clarify the concept of managerial economics and help us to apply these techniques when needed. So here, in the set of opportunity set, the opportunity set refers to the range of choices available to the individual firm or entity when making decisions with limited resources. Okay. It represents all feasible options or a combination of goods, services, investments, or actions that can be pursued given constraints, such as four things like budget, time, resource, or technology. Now, let me explain only one important thing here. Opportunity set here refers to the range of choices and alternatives available, okay, which will help us to take decisions with definitely which we have limited resource. Since we have limited resource, we have to make the best choice, or we have to take the best choice, or we have to go for the best alternative. Okay. So what are the combinations that we need to do for the opportunity set? That combination can be of goods and services and investments, or any combination among these, and that will help us to budget our budget, which will fit in our budget obviously, and give a budgetary limitations such as the time, resources, or technology. Since we have good services investments, we have to limitedly use the time, resource, and energy, so that we can precisely get the opportunity set that we want the uh, for the firm or individual. So, in economics and decision theory, understanding the opportunity set is a fundamental. It encompasses all potential alternatives an entity can pursue with its available resources, illustrating the different trade offs and choices that need to be made when allocating these kind of resources. Okay, since there is scarcity, so we need to take care of the opportunity set, which we have to mind carefully, because the resources available, they are scarce in nature. Okay, so opportunity set, that can be described in graphically. I have drawn one graphical set before also, that was for opportunity cost, wherein I was comparing two products of say A and say B. Okay, the products, they were made at certain level of production. Okay, so this is the level of production if it was made for A and B, and the required raw materials or the resources that are needed to make this. So there were different possibilities, like I can use this much range of A raw materials, and can use this much of raw material of B to produce certain thing. Okay, so at this stage, I was dealing with making A B, which needed this much amount of A and this much amount of B. Okay, so for this reason only, there was a counterbalance thing, that was, if we are going to produce something outside this range, it will be needing, or it will not be able to be produced, it cannot be produced. Anything that will be produced within this range will be of the amount of required raw materials. Something on the other will be more of this, and something of this. So you can either make like 10 units of A and 10 units of B. Okay, or you can make like 9 units of A and you can make 11 units of B, something like that. Okay, so all these things I have discussed in the previous class, wherein I was telling about the opportunity cost, which were combining among two products. Here, opportunity set is more of relation between the resources and the raw materials that is available. Okay, so here, if we go to the different constraints that are needed to be taken care of while choosing any opportunity set, they are: budget constant shows combination of goods and services that can be purchased or can be given a fixed budget and price. So combinations are like a good or services, they are produced, but they are within the budget, because the budget is fixed and they can be made. And PPC, that is production possibility curve, this was more of that predicts the various combination of, it predicts actually. So you are going to predict combination of good services that can be produced efficiently with available resources and the technology. So whenever there is resources available, we can decide, we can depict what we want to make. We can make certain assumptions, and according to that we can make. This is somewhere very much familiar or similar to opportunity cost, but we will be doing that here in PPC. So next one is portfolio theory, where in finance refers to the range of possible risk return combinations available to investor. Here the viewpoint is of as an investor, and we have to decide the risk return combinations based on different investment portfolios. Okay. So understanding the opportunity set is crucial for decision making, because it helps assess and analyze available options, so we can evaluate the trade-offs and make informed choices that align with the objectives and constraints, right? So it also emphasizes that choices involve sacrifices, and selecting any one option often means giving up another. This is the most important line here. Selecting one option often means giving up of another. Okay. So opportunity cost is something like you select a particular item, and for that you need to deselect or ignore or reject certain other methods. Okay. So out of them, any one method can be the best possible alternative to this one. So that becomes the opportunity set. Okay. Now going to variables and constants. Here, a very familiar thing that we know already since 11, 12, or in bachelor's, we know that there is a definition of y is equal to a plus bx, which is a straight line linear equation. Here, we know that the variables are measured, which changes, and can be taken a set of possible values within a given problem. So a constant is a parameter or a quantity that does not change in any problem. So constant is something that remains fixed throughout, and variables they change, and with the set of possible values that is available as per the question in the given problem. Okay. Wherein A and B, if you know, we already know this. A and B, they are the constants, and Y and X, they are the different variables. So X is an independent variable and exogenous variable, while Y is a dependent or endogenous variable. Why? Because the value of X is given from outside the system, while the value of Y is determined from within the system by the equation. So we have to solve by the equation, right? So X can assume different values, causing Y to assume different values as well. Hmm? The relationship between the two variables here. Okay, this portion is related to another example, just like y is equal to a plus bx. Here another example is there. It is not that important, you can simply strike it off. Okay. So let's understand the functions. The function can be represented by means of linear function, quadratic function, and cubic function. So regarding this, I'll have to take you to your IGNOU study material rather, because there it is given in some diagrammatic representation, which is needed for you to know for your exam. So here, there is a linear function representation wherein the definition, the question here provides you with the okay. See this one. A q is equal to a minus bp. Here a and b, they are the constants, right? And q and p, they are the variables. Why there is a minus in between? The minus is because the graph is in this direction. Now when we have been studying in science or in commerce, in a 11, 12, we know the equation trend goes like this: y is equal to a plus bx. Remembered? The trend was up, this is down, that's why it's minus. So here the linear equation that is represented with this: y is equal to a plus bx. But now when it comes to a quadratic equation, there are two types actually. One is concave, and another one is convex in shape. This you can see by the diagram. This is the equation for quadratic function, wherein just keep the sign of minus in mind, because firstly it is going down, it's minus, then it is in plus, it's going up. In this way you will remember it in much better way. And quadratic equations always has a power of to the powered square in the end. So it is somewhat like q is equal to a minus bp plus cp square. And another type of quadratic equation is just the opposite. Herein it is a plus bp, which means the trend is up and then the trend goes down to negative. That's why it's minus cp square. So the equation becomes like this. This is actually the graphical representation for this equation, okay? And they are important for your understanding only, okay? So I hope you have understood this. There's another square here. Let's move to the cubic one. Only one is there basically. So for the cubic, the equation is like there is a cube in the end of the equation. So first trend, if it goes in a negative direction, this is it denoted by a negative one. Then it is going up in a positive direction like plus cp square, and then again in plus position plus dp square, dp cube. Okay, so this is the formula for cubic function. Now the five key functions of economics, they are represented graphically. So we already know what is demand and supply. Demand supply depends on price and quantity. So demand supply is always like this. When the price increases, demand decreases. When the demand increases, price decreases. So that's why the equation is like a linear equation, linear demand form. So it is represented as Q is equal to A minus BP and P is equal to A plus BQ. Any of these two you can use. Okay. Total revenue. Total revenue is a quadratic form because it combines two things. Okay. Now it is in uptrend and then in a downtrend. Remember the quadratic one, first is going to be plus, it is upside, so a plus bq, and then it is going downward, so it is minus cq square. Okay, just remember this will be very much useful. Okay, production. Production short run is used for understanding the cubic form of equation. The trend goes in a plus direction and after a while it goes into a downward direction, but for the beginning it goes in a short direction. Why? Because whenever a company begins a production for short run, it always inclines toward a uptrend view. Okay, so tp total production, that's equal to a plus bl plus cl square minus dlq. A, B, C, D. These four are the constants. Okay. Now, cost, that is short run quadratic. The same design, but this has shifted in a little up. Okay. Why? Because we have to think about the fact that cost is something that is not related to or not added with any profit. So cost is for short run. When a company incurs something like that, so it has some initial cost of production. So this is the initial cost of production, and from there onwards the short run begins. So the total cost for this kind of short run quadratic is a plus bq plus cq square minus dq cube. Okay, just remember the definitions mostly, that profit is for short run, it's a quadratic form of equation. That's it. Okay. I'll again make you understand this. Why profit is for short run is never a profit, is mostly a loss. After a break even, it becomes or it comes to a profit range. That is denoted here by pi. So T is equal to A plus BQ plus CQ plus DQ cube. Why? Because A plus BQ here, where a 0 is greater than A, this portion, okay, plus BQ crosses and then CQ square plus dq cube. It goes in an afternoon only. It is yeah. Okay, so let's go back to it is a little bit confusing, but try to remember the easy forms. If not possible, you can eliminate the equations because sometimes you might get confused. Rather, I'll say you remember this, remember the diagrams. Okay, profit is a short run. For short run cases, it is quadratic. For cost, it is a short term, so it is a quadratic. For production, that is a short run, that is cubic. And for total revenue, it is quadratic. For demand supply, it is linear. Okay, I've actually mentioned that in my material itself. You can see directly from there as well. See, so a function can be represented by linear function, quadratic, and cubical. Demand function is a linear. Total revenue is a short run. Production is for a short run, that is cubic. Cost short run, that is quadratic. And profit, that is also short run, it is quadratic. Cost and profit, they are quadratic. Production is okay, profit is something like this, it will go down and it will come up. Cost is like this. It starts from a little far and it goes up like this. Okay, it is for cost. Production is starting from here only. Okay, total revenue, that is denoted by this. Okay, and the linear function, it is denoted by this. So these are the diagrams for all. Okay, so with this we are ending this class. In the next class we will begin with the derivatives. This is the most important portions, and then we will be doing partial derivatives and optimization concept. So thank you for the class. Share this class with your friends, and do not forget to like, share and subscribe. Follow the Telegram channel, which I will be providing the link in the description box, wherein all the assignments are being uploaded regularly for the July session. So thank you for the class.